Though, because it still probably push you off. And so we continue. It's weird, for play Street Killing, it taught me to look at every corner, and this game's like, nah, only look at the stuff we tell you to look at.
Well, there's probably more stories if we go off the path.
But we already looked off the path, and we haven't found anything.
Yeah, this one seems weird.
Yeah.
Nancy.
Ethan was close. I could feel him. A pinprick of light in the darkness. He would know me. He would know why I'd come.
Oh yeah, the afterwards from the future.
Okay, I feel like this isn't the 40s. At least 60 something.
I would say with
because astronaut.
the astronaut makes me think 60s. This is beautiful.
I think it might be longer. Honestly.
The scenery is beautiful. We still don't know where we're at, but
I was in Germany. I don't believe it's like German.
well, here's the house.
Is Frank in
Man.
Ethan German?
Why is the house still on fire?
What are you talking about? Still on fire.
It's smoldering.
You right. Maybe he's trying to catch up to Ethan
Maybe
still.
the private investigator is.
Maybe he's not too far ahead.
Yeah, I was thinking
Behind.
that, like, this might have all happened recently.
Because if you think about it, the bodies would have decomposed if it was years later.
Ethan's corpse went to
Then fight it! I have to destroy the roof!
Corvus, I'm sorry. Ethan,
Bird.
I can't let you do that.
Edward.
Isn't Edward Grandpa?
Yeah. Oh.
Oh.
Spell out Corvus. Starting from there.
Oh, god dang it.
What's the term for it?
The U.S.?
Yeah.
You had to use Mr. Rotate.
Oh.
I was like, let's probably not stand on that. Maybe it's supposed to be number 40. Is that Ethan?
Oh,
Whoa.
oh, oh,
I don't like to recommend
that's not Ethan. That is not Ethan.
You get peaceful.
it. Or Edward.
Edward was...
Yeah, it is Edward.
Three. My god. Only three. Oh, wow.
So we're getting closer to the story.
Yes.
There's Edward helping.
Oh, he did it on purpose because he was like, I want to be one of them. So he killed him.
So, yeah, this is definitely 4.
That might be 42.
Or is this one? Maybe this is one scene. No.
That's the last two have one scene. So that's...
This is 2. 1.
Well, there's gasoline.
With this?
and
No,
that
because
as well.
there's already gasoline poured here.
I'm just,
I think this
Oh, there we go.
should be 3.
yeah,
Ethan, I fought it off. It's okay.
Grandpa, get away from me!
Your grandmother Gail is protecting me from it. Ethan, I can help you.
Will I die?
I found Vandergrift's diary. He said for the sleeper to wake up, someone has to suffer. Look!
You just got that? You just read that?
When I found that room, I didn't wake him up. He's trying to wake up now. Vandergrift kept his victims alive. He made them suffer. That's what the sleeper wants.
We need to get in that room.
That was creepy.
I can squeeze through.
Whoosh. You got clothes and...
Grandpa, no!
Gail, it has to be this way. The sleeper must not wake.
These corn milk for alcohol.
Burning the room won't matter, Ethan. The sleeper's inside us now.
Grandpa! It's back!
We all have to die. Even you, even me.
Who's Vandergrift? Is that the magician? No, the magician was just a story.
yeah. Probably modeled after.
Potentially.
I can see the future.
And let me guess, this is gonna give me the power to go through that door now.
Because all of the stories have been, in one way or another, kind of semi-related to what's going on.
Space Cthulhu.
Well, they said the fangs, the monster showed its fangs.
Oh, I thought that was him laying against the ground.
Wow, this is very... What? It... What?
Wake up.
I don't think he stopped it.
You stopped
I
it.
don't think he stopped it.
It was hard. Stop.
Paul Prospero? Are you really
I'm
here?
sorry, Ethan. I was late. Too late.
You're right. You were too late.
Here. Again. I knew this story. And it was Ethan's as much as it was mine.
Oh, wait.
And it wasn't finished. Not yet.
Propped up bridge. Damn. Church. This place. Story.
We got the Trappist Gulf.
So we probably gotta go back to the mine again. It was another story. Yeah, it's in the mine.
Oh, you can travel.
Oh god.
So we should have got this
If I
one.
see the sea thing, I swear to god. Oh, it's fast travel. Yeah, it's the sea thingy.
The sea thingy. Oh,
Yeah,
that's-
it's the same.
What'd you expect it to be? So is Paul now Ethan?
No.
Because he said this was his story.
As
And
much as it was, I think it's like Ethan died and it's his job to finish it. Or maybe like Ethan escaped and came back to finish it under Paul Prospero.
that's our
guy.
character.
Yeah.
We already read that.
Oh, wait, there's a map.
Yeah, I know. I can't do anything about it though. We walked in there. Don't get lost.
Or just follow the right side. You'll get out eventually.
Oh yeah, just make 4 right turns.
No, just hug the right side of the wall. So wherever this goes, follow the right. Do not follow the right.
It's a dead end. I'm just gonna go straight.
No, you just follow the right 'cause it goes up. It's literally the maze on the map.
I was just following.
There's the
legit.
map again. So where are we going now? We go up to the basement section.
I did. You have to go back once you get to the end section. Cool. Oh.
I like how you immediately ran towards him.
God.
At least he only looks like Nemesis from Resident Evil.
Really? I was thinking of Hey You Guys.
Hey, you guys.
Oh. I don't know why I ran at him. Like, I was like, oh, look,
I
another.
thought you thought he was gonna disappear, and then he totally didn't disappear.
And then, yeah, I was like, oh, look, it was another memory. And I ran at it.
Is this supposed to be like the Minotaur in the maze?
You know, I think you're right.
Hey, you guys.
Who wants to play miniature in the maze?
I'll do the mouse if somebody else does the keyboard.
Tell you want to do the keyboard? I've been running this entire game.
Come on now. Give me the mouse.
Oh boy. Josh.
What'd you
I paused it.
Are you ready?
Oh, God.
Are you ready?
I think so. Okay, this is really weird not being able to.
Am I supposed to turn and stuff? Is that my job? Is it really my job to turn? I don't want to turn.
Yeah.
I'm just holding W shift.
Stop!
If you see it run away, maybe?
No. Now I got hard about it.
Now you know it's.
Read the map. That's right. I think
Colin went right.
we go that way.
You guys run into it anyways.
That way. I think it's that way.
Oh man, I can't walk, man. Chloe, you want to be looking up. Because if you see it, you want to be able to turn and run.
Where are we now?
I don't want to do this.
You guys are gonna get yourself killed. Chloe, look up. If you don't see it, you die.
Come on, Deckard. Come on, Deckard.
Deckard who? Deckard Cain? Diablo?
I'm not from
This
Diablo.
way, go straight.
You're the one that's.
Deckard from.
I think that's gonna get you.
Don't look at it.
Here, Colin.
No. I already gave it up.
Stop! We have to go that way.
No, we don't.
We do.
It's behind you. Keep
We had to go that way.
I think it goes around that area.
I don't
I have the mouse. Fine, trade me. You get the mouse then.
I don't want the
Fuck off.
The problem is Chloe keeps looking at the ground and you can't tell where anything's at.
Go straight. I'm done. It's fine. Scary man. We've already seen him twice.
I'm gonna see if there's an easy way to do this.
What? I feel like I'm drunk. I genuinely feel like I fucking died, man, I swear. Oh yeah, we took the wrong turn, but we're going with it. I'm just sprinting through this bitch now.
Hey, you guys.
Don't look at him.
We weren't looking at him before.
If you hear him, get around a corner and you'll lose sight. So once you get in the main chamber, you have to enter like a passcode. Well, because you have to find 5 different bodies, but we could just put the passcode in.
I think I found it.
You've already been there. I'm just holding shift and W, so you're taking the voice you want.
I feel like you just going in circles at this point.
Somebody else will find it.
No, you got it.
Wait, what does it say? Stop! I want to see it.
Right at this point. Oh, so that guy is probably one of the dead bodies.
Okay. Matt.
The keyboard's
Okay, straight up.
Working. Now going to the right.
Put that shit in.
Inspect.
He's not dead, but
Hit the space button. He is not dead, but an eternal lie. The god of strange eons cannot die. We open the gate of old. Its guardian eyes have long grown cold. The name of our God, our truth, our key. He's that which is, which should not be. Inspect the body. You have to go up there.
Oh, we got to find all of them.
Yes.
Oh,
All right,
put
so
it in.
it's figure 8 at the bottom. The one on the left. Yep. It's upside down L, like the one above it. No, it's like the same one above it. Z. That's an L. That looks like a heart to me. That one. Nope. Go back.
No.
Nope. No, that one's an L, but the one above that is that one. No. That one. Go back down. Go down. Go down. Make that one Z. Make the that one. Go up.
Second to.
Go. Make that looks like a sideways Triforce. That one. Make that one Bugle.
You go.
Yep. Done. No clue. It should say, after the combination is entered, the gate will open and begin flooding the room. A large tentacle will emerge from the wall, and the room will fill with water. The You'll then find yourself in a submerged forest area. Behind a small fence and 3 tentacles that thrash around. Go to the right and you'll find another story from Ethan. This one is called The Curse of the Sea Thing. So I don't know how to enter it now.
I think we have to find it.
It says you could just put it in straight in. Hold on, maybe I put it decoded.
You might have to.
You know what? Go no, change that back to L or Z. Go to that one. Nope, that one's L. Take that back. Or Z, I mean. No. It's the one above that. Go over one. Again. 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 Didn't we just have that one there? Oh, it looked like it. Now go to the right. Face. The Curse of the Sea Thing. The Inochan Necronomicon. The iron ore miners had finally found it, but not all of them wanted to perform its ritual and disturb some of the sea thing. Gania? One miner realized the ritual would unleash Gania's flood upon the world, and so the miner had no choice but to stab the others with blades sharps of magical Elfbound. Ghana, in response, cursed the miner, who now wanders the mine, doomed to prevent others from summoning the sea thing and flooding the world forever. So his... Stop that. Alright, so that's it.
Ethan, I told you to stay out. God damn it. Look, it's dangerous in here. I'll read your story later.
Oh, Dale's dead.
Okay?
Yeah, Dale died.
And, please don't tell your mother I'm in here. All right? Okay, now, you go. Get back home.
We request for clarification. Dear Mr. Carter, the United States Patent and Trademark Office has received your January 27th, 1993?
Letter
73?
requesting further explanation
73.
as to why your recently submitted patent 527F2D was rejected by its office. As we explained in your previous letter, the patent was rejected from infringing upon a previously existing patent. We have on record from you more than 4 dozen requested patents submitted in at least 16 months. It has been successful, but met with challenges by you. Sure, we'd like to consider the matter of future matters and administrative close.
Sincerely,
The administrative director.
some person,
I can't speak.
admin. Oh,
Yeah, it's just the administrative
James
director.
Mock.
Okay, what's up?
Dale, get out of your shit out of our basement. Bring it to the goddamn dump. I'm so sick of you stepping over your lifetime of failures on my way to the washing machine. I'm not kidding. Either you move it or I burn it. So that's where you really were.
Hey.
That was right. There's nothing in this room. Looks like this is where the guy tortured his people. Hold it.
Oh, that's us. Detective.
Are you moving around or is it automatically doing it? I'm waiting for you to turn around and just get murdered.
We have to.
Christ, Ethan, you're in here again? You missed dinner. Mom and Dad are pissed. They've been looking all over the place.
Dad can afford
Get out of here, Travis. Leave me alone.
Hey, Ma, he's in here.
This was all his story.
Honey, be careful with that lamp.
Dale, what the hell's wrong with your kid? Painting on walls, house, writing his stories. I mean, what the fuck?
Ethan! For God's sake. You missed dinner.
I'm sorry. I've been working on a story all day. How long have I been out
The
here?
Adventures of Paul Prospero, supernatural detective. Where do you get this stuff?
Pop, would you get Travis out of here, please?
He draws pictures on walls. What the hell is that?
Chad?
uncle.
Shut up.
You got yourself a faggot for a son, Dale.
Travis, let's go. Come on.
Faggot! Ethan, you're a fucking faggot!
Travis, stop it!
Shit!
Everyone, go! Get out!
Get out! The smoke is toxic!
Oh God! What do we do?
Are you dead?
I think Paul Prospero was the Grim Reaper.
Yeah. So you're a figment of his imagination?
I wrote about you, but I don't know if I created you.
You made me real.
Yes.
I can't go yet. I have to finish my story about you. I wrote stories about everyone.
I know you did. But my story's done. And it's a fine story.
I can let go?
You can let go.
What happens then?
Another story, kid. What else?
Yeah, 4 minutes later. The day he died from the smoke inhalation.
Oh, the firefighters. Firefighter King. We're gonna start drinking. He's dead. Did he get like locked or something?
It was a metal door, so it got hot when the fire caught, so he couldn't touch the door.
No, but now they're trying to put it out.
Oh, he's on fire.
Because they're trying to put it out. So then the only person who died in the fire was Ethan.
Yep. No, remember, Ed was the only one left. Wasn't he? Yeah, I don't really know is the issue.
But it was every story and then something with the story.
Well, no, this.
Because the reason there was probably so much gasoline in the basement is because the dad was trying to make a patent or something.
What happens then? I was waiting for another Adam.
I think we need.
Hold on. I think we need what?
Records to see like the. Because it was like the story and then.
Yeah, I think we were the Grim Reaper. I think we were the Grim Reaper playing along to his stories. I think that was him. You know how like you're supposed to like relive your memories. I think that was Ethan kind of reliving his stories before he died. Yeah, I don't know what the hell that was about. Maybe I wonder if that was. I wonder if that's his last story was the sleeper, the thing that was gonna kill him.
We have so
How much was it?
Like $3. I'm not. It's not even
Okay.
worth refunding.
Yeah, I was gonna say then it's worth.
Hello.
It's worth
Oh.
That's right.
Continue.
Continue.
Start New Game Plus.
New Game Plus.
It's harder.
I like how the time where we literally just held the one all the way through.
That
It
worked.
didn't see him at all. And I'm pretty sure I covered like the entire area.
Well, he spawned randomly. Yeah, we were live for 3 hours and 15 minutes ish. I mean, it's still technically live, but
What time is it now?
1-6.
1-6. 7-4. What was the whole deal with 7-4?
That was 4 minutes later. Because if you remember, he laid down at 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
So that's Paul Grim Reaper coming and saying, "Hey, you died."
Dead kid.
Yeah, done, kid.
It was like the "Was I a good boy?" Basically,
I'm told you were the
weren't.
best.
But it was just basically, your stories were real, kid. I'm the real guy.
I'm the real deal.
And then the kid's like, "Oh wow!" And the guy's like, "Man, I hate taking
Prospero
kids."
was a firefighter.
Prospero? Isn't that like...
Oh,
Why did you do that? What?
Isn't like Prospero a planet? I feel like that's a science fiction reference.
I think it's a
Man, I watched you do that. I
I
really
like
watched you
saw
just
you
go.
lean back, and I'm like, wow, he's leaning back really like fast.
Yeah, and I watched him just go bam in
I
his
thought
head.
you were gonna like just like rest back on that, not fucking.
Yeet your head back there.
Damn, rest in peace, Ethan Carter.
So it wasn't the vanishing was him disappearing for the day and the parents trying to figure out where he was at.
Pretty much. You missed dinner.
So it's really the uncle's fault.
It's the mom's fault for
Oh,
having the lantern in the house.
Yeah, why the fuck did she have a lantern?
Because there was no light in there. It's the uncle's fault and the kids or the brother's fault for making fun of Ethan for writing the stories because that caused the mom to swing and get fire everywhere.
Yeah, but then.
So basically, he was killed by his family.
Yeah.
Except for Dale, because Dale's a good guy.
Well, no, I thought Dale had all the gasoline in the
Oh,
basement.
yeah, that's true.
None of them were really innocent.
How did the fire start that fast? Like,
I looked like he had basically coated the basement in gasoline.
solid.
I don't understand why the dad just didn't run and grab Ethan and run him back.
They all just.
Well, he shut the door. They all went for like the exit. Ethan went back.
Yeah.
Well, I think Ethan was scared of the fire.
Yeah, the fire starts in front of them, and then they're like, "Oh shit, forget the kid," and they just bolt.
True facts.
All right, now look up the wiki so we can understand what is happening.
Yeah. Look up
All right.
vanishing Ethan. What was his name? Carter.
Carter.
Yeah.
I'll put ending.
This game was totally not what I expected.
We're
at
not gonna
all.
hold your hand. Meanwhile, it's a straight line.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Payne's Creek was like, put the piece of ham in your pocket and go unlock the hotel.
The astronomers.com vanishing Ethan Carter ending extreme spoilers. Oh, so this is the astronauts, which is so this is the game devs things.
What?
This is the game devs writing.
Oh. Is that a noose?
Yes.
Or was it based on a book?
I can argue that the most obvious incarnation is it's not really a cliche ending. Things are not what they seem. It's just a template that indeed some movies and books use, Sixth Sense, Identity, but the actual execution, Ethan's, is fairly unique. Surely it's inspired by part of Ambrose Bierce's an occurrence at Owl Creek Bridge from 1990 or 1890, one of the first weird fiction stories ever. But such particular motive, minutes of dying stretched into hours of adventure, is not often very used. So, with a twist, the real question is it justified? Providing a shock ending without any clues to the true nature of the viewer, reader, player's experience is weak. And it was all a dream is weak. And the holodeck malfunction and he was back to reality is weak. Sixth Sense would be cheap if it didn't have the first movie and it weren't full of clues. Just like the case with that movie, I believe that Ethan earns its ending too. The clues are everywhere. You begin a long dark tunnel going towards the light. You missed that. The world is full of child's handwriting font. Paul Prospero's last name is from Shakespeare, from The Tempest, and if you read it, you will see more reasons on why he used that name.
I thought it was something. I didn't know where Prospero came from, but I heard it before.
And Poe from The Masquerade of Red Death, a story about a man's futile attempts to stave off death. Where's Poe from? What?
Edgar Allan Poe.
What? Where's? Oh, the last name is from Shakespeare and Poe. Okay. And so on and so forth.
Oh,
For what it's
wait,
worth,
no, Prospero.
Prospero is the last name in.
Yeah, so it's
It's
just
from Shakespeare, from The Tempest. If you read it, you will see more reasons on why we use this name, and Poe from The Masquerade of the Red Death. So both of them used it. For what it's worth, the game is not really about the twist. As Sixth Sense is not really about the twist, the heart of the movie is in the relationship between the mother and her son. She was really never cared that much whether the players figured out the twist and early or not until it ended. It's changing nothing in what the heart of the story. However, let's assume for a moment that the ending is simple and clear. But I can't. Is it really? For quite a while, I couldn't figure out what's the reason that some people don't see the ambiguity of it. The ending was not crystal clear to me when I, Tom Bissell, and Rob Uten were creating the story, so the writers. We didn't aim to create an ambiguous ending. It somehow happened. Like we were just the messengers the story told us by an invisible being rather than if we were cold-blooded creatures moving the character around like chess pieces. Or maybe we ate too much chocolate. One way or another, a definitive canon version of what happened in Red Creek does not exist. Not yet, anyways. So why were these few reviews saying that there's more to the game than meets the eye? After something I suspect the answer is partially in the question above.
We don't know.
Usually you have two kinds of unexpected endings. The one with a twist, the one that is unclear and open for interpretation. In our case, the game's problem, assuming it's a problem, is that the game has both types of ending. It features a twist and ambiguity, or to be precise, an ambiguous twist. But the first interpretation twist always wins. It's the low-hanging fruit. People who just see the twist usually reach for the most obvious version of it. To be clear, absolutely nothing wrong with that, and we love that version deeply, and are not looking anymore. Other people feel like that under the skin that there's, since one of the game's themes is the power of imagination, and things are not often as they seem, and then maybe the ending is also affected, and they start digging deeper. The game was constructed in a way that it didn't. That even if you didn't feel the need to dig deeper and you feel to reach the most obvious explanation, the ending should work. If it doesn't for you, then maybe it's us, maybe it's you, or maybe it's simply no one's fault. No work of art exists that works for everyone. Not even Raiders of the Lost Ark checks the IMDb's most hated user reviews. But if you're interested in finding an alternative explanation, well, we swore to you that we would never take on the events of Red Creek Valley are, and very soon I'll explain why. Meanwhile, let's see what other interpretations of the ending the gamers cooked up so far. Number 1. Ethan is dying, and Paul Prospero is nothing but Ethan's imagination. Ethan is the sleeper. We don't know if Ethan survives or dies, but it most likely that he dies. In either case, the camera that flies away at the end might be Ethan's soul. That makes a lot of sense, since they always say we have to wake the sleeper, which Ethan's the sleeper, so. 2. Ethan is dying, and Paul Prospero is either the death or an angelic being who helps Ethan transition to the other side. If that's the case, the camera that flies away at the end might be Paul who done his job. Since it's all about, as Travis puts it at one point, stories, always with the stories. The whole game is another Ethan story. His dream to finally bring his dysfunctional family together. Read this on why this is important to Ethan. Click. Even if only on paper. If that's the case, the camera then flies away at the end might be the story's ending. Is there anything more? Oh my god, I'm not reading this other piece about how Ethan cares. Ethan cares. Okay, so Ethan cares about his family being together.
Okay.
We'll just go with that. You can find it online if you want to read it. This simple game was designed for over a year. We know it looks minimalistic in a way, but it's on purpose. We believe there's no exploration and discovery without exploration and discovery. Alright. There are layers to the family and to the story itself deeply, but in plain sight. No one has gotten to these parts yet. Maybe no one ever will. That's interesting. But that's okay. We believe that somehow, subconsciously, these layers are the reasons why the game resonates with so many people. Now, why did I say we swore to never tell what our own takes on the events of Red Creek Valley are? Many years ago, read an interview with Seal. He asked why there were no lyrics painted to those micro books inserted into the CDs. Obviously, today there are whole websites dedicated to song lyrics, but that was before the internet, mind. He said something like this: people sometimes misunderstand the words or misinterpret lyrics, and they build their own mental image for what the song is about. To some, my songs are about beauty or love. To others, the same songs can be about sadness or loss. People
So the way I'm interpreting this.
People
right?
grow up with these songs, get attached to certain emotions what the songs evoke. It's a beautiful thing, and I don't want to interfere with it. I like this concept. What I like to do at the beginning is put a lot of power into the player's hands, your hands. There is no ending. There is an ending to Vanishing of Ethan's Carter, but it's your ending, not ours. That was actually right.
Yeah, so essentially, we made it. We don't know what it's about. There you go.
Well, it's basically we made it, but we want you to discuss it, and we're not going to tell you what the actual events happened.
In other words, we made it. We don't know.
So
I don't really know.
you could
We'll pick the best one out of your guys.
that probably makes a lot of sense with the water and the mom, because she was grabbing the water buckets, right?
She was putting the water. No, because Dale was carrying the water
Yeah.
buckets, and
She
she
was-
was
yeah,
just
but she
like,
was just-
"Over there."
So, but the water and the dad had the water, right?
Yeah.
The brother was putting out the uncle who had the axe. No, the grandfather who had the axe, and then the uncle was like on the side, like it looks like he was about to
Sad.
pass out from getting water.
Maybe he got something in his eye, and he's like, "Ah."
But if you think Ethan's hearing all this from below ground, you really don't know what's going on.
No.
How long does it take to die of smoke inhalation?
Apparently 4 minutes.
It was toxic smoke. Remember?
As opposed to like clean smoke.
Yeah.
Well, they said that watch out that smoke is toxic. So I
all,
assume.
all smoke is toxic.
Well, I'm assuming it's they had like.
If it's diesel fuel, it's still toxic. Regular smoke is toxic.
Right, but I'm assuming he had chemicals in there that made it worse.
I don't want to Google how long does it take to die of smoke inhalation.
Hey
Suicide
Google,
hotline.
how long does it take to die from smoke inhalation?
My apologies. I don't understand.
Which just means
All right,
it doesn't
Google.
answer the question.
I'm not telling you.
Google's like, please don't kill yourself.
It's kind of creepy, honestly.
Yeah.
What causes it?
Fire.
What causes smoke inhalation?
My best part is they're giving me all of the.
Just control F it.
Control F long.
Man, this is. You guys will be surprised by this. Smoke inhalation is the most common cause of death in house fires.
Well, yeah. That's what you're supposed to say below the ground.
That's why I sleep with my door closed. Chloe wants to die.
I got a fire ladder in my room.
Did you say a fire lighter?
Ladder.
A fire lighter.
That's why I was really confused.
Fire lighter.
I was like, what is that?
Starting in my room, okay?
Chloe's like, listen, I'm gonna be the one that starts the fire. At this point, I don't care.
I have two really big windows that crank out, and you can just like bust out the screen.
If a fire
And
started.
then I got a ladder.
If a fire started in my house and I was in my room, I'd just die.
I could totally get out. Easy peasy. I don't even need the ladder. I could just drop out.
Well, I guess that's it. This is it.
That's it for Ethan Carter.
Yep.
This is the end.
This is the end of the world, and we know it. Should we?
Oh, you got some followers.
No, I didn't get any followers.
Well, besides me, yeah. Yeah.
I got someone that.
You got
rated
WC
you.
Spartacus. Bree
Alright,
Life.
that was
Jerry.
2 months ago.
That was 3 months ago. Yeah.
Sure facts.
Alright, that's it.